In the previous video, we created a polygon sphere by clicking on this icon in the polygon modeling shelf. When we did that, it created a polygon sphere in the center of this large gray area in the middle of Maya's user interface. This large gray area is known as the viewport. It's appropriately named because we can think of this as a window into the 3D world of Maya. What we are actually seeing inside of the viewport is the view from a virtual camera. You'll see at the very bottom of our screen, PRSP. This is the name of the camera. This is our perspective camera. And the shortcut keys we're going to learn today will allow us to move this camera around our scene so we can see this virtual world from different angles and orientations. You'll notice that when I press these shortcut keys, a little indicator will show up in this box that tells you which key I'm pressing on my keyboard. This is not native to Maya. This is a separate software package that we are running that allows you to see what I'm doing on my keyboard. So the first shortcut key we're going to learn involves both a shortcut key and a mouse press. So if I hold down the Alt key and click the left mouse button on my mouse, you'll see that I can now sort of orbit around my object. The technical name for this is tumble. What we are doing is we are tumbling our camera around the object in which we're focusing. Again, this is important to remember that what we are actually doing is moving a virtual camera inside of our 3D scene. The sphere is not moving, our camera is moving. The next shortcut key we're going to learn also involves the Alt key. So again, we're going to hold down the Alt key, and this time we're going to right click. And when I move my mouse, you'll notice I can get closer or further away from the object. This is called dolly, D-O-L-L-Y. Now, this is often referred to casually as zooming, but it's important to remember that this is technically different than an actual zoom. If you have a camera with a zoom lens, your camera stays in the same location, but when you zoom in, it makes the objects you're looking at look like they're closer, the same way it would if you're looking through a telescope or binoculars. What we are actually doing when we dolly inside of Maya is we are moving our camera either further away from the object or closer to the object. So again, it's important to remember we're actually moving a virtual camera. The next shortcut key we're going to look at is Alt middle click. Now, you may be looking at your mouse trying to figure out which button is the middle click. You'll notice that you have a middle scroll wheel, and if you scroll that, you'll see that also allows us to dolly in and out. But we're not going to scroll. We're going to hold Alt, and then we're going to press down on the mouse button until you feel a click. And when we do that, this will allow us to pan our camera from side to side. So it's important to notice that all of these require you to hold down the Alt key. So if we hold Alt left click, we tumble, Alt right click, we dolly, Alt middle click, we pan. And using these three features, you should be able to get your camera into almost any location you need to be able to see your object more clearly. Occasionally, you'll navigate away from your object, and it feels like now we're tumbling around something different, something that we can't even see. In order to regain focus on our object, we just need to select it and press the F key. And F will allow us to refocus on our object, where now we can tumble, dolly, and pan.